What I am about to show you is unbelievable, and it proves why you need a gun. So this guy, I don't know if you see, his name's Jay Jones. He's currently the Democratic nominee for Attorney General in Virginia. So he has a real shot of being the actual Attorney General. Maybe not after this, though. And these are some leaked text messages from him. It is wild. Okay, so I'm just going to read these out, and then we're going to talk about it, because this guy's radically anti-gun. Like, look at his endorsements. The Collective, which is anti-gun. You have, where is it at here? You have Giffords, of course, very big anti-gun group. These are just the ones I know. You have a bunch of various anti-abortion groups. Brady Pack, again, anti-gun group. You have, let's see here, Virginians for Change, anti-gun group. And you have Brant Gun Tragedies Pack, another anti-gun group. So you have a bunch of anti-gun groups supporting him. And this is what this guy says. If those guys die before me, I'll go to their funerals to piss on their graves, send them out awash in something. 3 people, 2 bullets. Gilbert, and that's Todd Gilbert, who's the Speaker of the House in Virginia. So Todd Gilbert, Hitler, and Pol Pot. Gilbert gets 2 bullets to the head. Spoiler, put Gilbert in the crew with the 2 worst people you know, and he receives both bullets every time. And the person, obviously not liking it, responds this. Yeah, and we're going to get to the other ones in a second. They're much worse. But this guy wants to be Attorney General of Virginia. And he wants just obviously wants the pro-gun people dead. And it gets worse, too. And by the way, none of those anti-gun groups, by the way, have rescinded their endorsements. None of them made statements on it. Because, of course, it's not really about that. Okay. And he says later on, only when people feel pain personally do they move on policy. And she's saying, like, he's saying, the person responding, he's like, you're really going after someone's kids? And he says, do you think Todd Gilbert, the Speaker of the House, and Jennifer, his wife, are evil and that they're breeding little fascists? Yes. So this guy, endorsed by all the Stop School Shootings people, endorsed by all the, anti-gun groups, everything like that, this guy is very clearly advocating for violence against children. You can't argue that. And it's astounding to me that more of the anti-gun groups haven't dished him. And like Gun Owners America, which is of course a great organization, says, even more telling is the fact that in response to Jones's violent fantasies, no gun control groups have made any statements condemning Jones's remarks or rescinding their endorsements. His website still displays the endorsements of large and small gun control groups alike. Like I showed you, they're still on here. He's still running. He's been supported by a number of Democrats. A number of high-profile Democrats on MSNBC, on CNN, on all those news agencies have come out and said, okay, he said something minor, like, we get it. Why would he drop out after this? And I think this points to a more fundamental problem. Obviously, after the killing of Charlie Kirk, a lot of people saw these people fantasizing. Now, all the high-profile Democrats, all the top people, Chuck Schumer, all those people, Nancy Pelosi, Obama, all made statements condemning the killing of Charlie Kirk, which is absolutely right. And, to be honest, to some degree, I believe that. The thing is, this guy's not a minor guy. This is not a minor guy. This is not, just some random Democrat who's maybe on like a city council somewhere or the head of a PTA. No, this is a guy trying to be Attorney General. Attorney General. And you have to wonder why, when you see like the Matt Hoover case, when you see a lot of these pro-gun guys get targeted, you have to wonder, like, is this the reason? Is this the reason right here? And I think the answer is yes. These are clearly people that want the worst for pro-gun people. They're absolutely, clearly anti-gun through and through, and they want to be Attorney General. And so if they have an excuse to crack down on you, they're looking to take it. I mean, this guy even says, if he has 3 people, 2 bullets, he's going to shoot Todd Gilbert twice. And Todd Gilbert just disagreed with them on policy. It's just a policy disagreement. It's unbelievable to me. Unbelievable. And this just underscores the whole thing. This underscores the whole reason. We need not only the protection against the government being tyrannical, which could clearly happen because this guy wants to literally murder and advocates for the murdering of his political opponents. But it's not just that. It's also, there are people walking around that have serious animus, serious hatred of people on the other side of the political aisle. Now, I have no animus against the anti-gunners. I mean, I as people, right? I hate what they stand for, and some of the top ones who know what they're doing, I certainly do have animus. But if you talk to your average anti-gunner, even people running a lot of these organizations, or at least in the leadership of a lot of these organizations, they genuinely think, incorrectly in my view, but they genuinely think that the best recourse is banning assault rifles. Even though of course assault rifles, even though, of course, they're one of the most popular guns in America, and they don't make up a very sizable percentage of shootings. Or, back in 2008 during Heller, they said, assault rifles are fine, but we need to ban handguns, right? That's what Heller was over handguns. So they have different ideas, and the goalposts shift. And normally the way I say it to them is I say, can you name something that's constitutionally allowed that you can do to seriously curb any form of gun violence? And there are things. A lot of them are mental health things. A lot of them are, putting people that are insane in asylums, stuff like that. And those are all very important. And those are all worth having a conversation about. But the reality is, most of the actual on-the-ground anti-gunners actually think. I know this sounds crazy, but they actually think, let's make a law against guns, and now everything will be fine. Of course, not possible. Not possible to do. The government doesn't know where most of those guns are, thankfully. And even if they did, the police wouldn't take them. And even if they would take them, Congress wouldn't pass a law. And even if Congress did pass a law, the Supreme Court wouldn't allow it. So there's a lot of, and it doesn't actually, and even if all that happened, no one would give their guns up. So there's a lot of, barriers in place. But they do genuinely think, and they do genuinely believe that this is the correct path forward. Jay doesn't think that. And that's what a lot of the pro-gun side doesn't realize. And I always bring it back, and without getting too political, this is not an abortion channel. This is just a gun channel, and I don't really view that as a stereotypically political issue. It's not left-right. There are people on the left who are pro-gun, and I'll join forces with them. The people on the right, more commonly in America, because that's just the way that it's shaken out. But there are people on the right also, and I join forces with them too. This is a pro-gun channel. But to take the abortion example, again, I'm not interested in where you stand. I'm just giving an example. The people that are anti-abortion typically are people that genuinely believe through their conviction that killing a baby or that abortion is actually murdering a baby in the womb. It's the same as murdering you or I. It is a person deserving of dignity and the same as you or I are. And the anti-abortion people, especially on the left, there's some principled libertarians on the right that wouldn't think this. Think it's actually all those people are just people that are like fascists trying to control women's bodies. And I think this points to a deeper problem, because those people aren't just fascists controlling women's bodies. What they view as happening is they view it's 40 million babies being murdered. Now again, I'm not going to say which side of the political debate I come down on here, and it's not relevant to the channel. But I think this points to a key problem often in various forms of left wing, and this is honestly typically on the left politics. Jay can't conceive of the idea that Gilbert or me or you or any of these people genuinely think that it is a prudent. We're not saying like we should have guns because we think school shootings are good. No, obviously not. Obviously not. Like, use your brain for like 2 seconds, right? You think half of America thinks that, or actually the majority of America. Majority of America is pro-gun. You think the majority of America thinks that? No. Are you insane? Like, seriously, what is wrong with you? And the key point is they're unable to conceive of the argument for the other side. Like, again, the abortion issue. I have a strong conviction on it. I'm not going to tell you which one it is. But I'm able to conceive of both sides having at least some sort of structured thought that they think is better for the world. The anti-gunners can't. The anti-gunners cannot understand. It's the well-regulated militia argument all over again. They just can't understand that whenever you discuss with an anti-gunner, they bring that up and they're like, did you know it says when, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state? Yes, I know that. Obviously, I know that. And obviously, I have factored that into my understanding of the world. I've thought this through. I understand what I'm talking about. I'm not like on the Supreme Court. I'm not like Antonin Scalia, but I do understand, like, I have a good reason for thinking what I think. And I think it is actually better, and that's why I advocate for it. They're unable to wrap their minds around that. And I think this points to, again, a broader issue. They think that a lot of it's fascism, desire to control, which of course makes no sense, right, in the context of gun stuff. Because if you're a fascist, what's the first thing Hitler did? Took away the guns, because that makes sense. It makes it easier to control people. So obviously, it's the opposite of fascism in this case. It's kind of incongruent. 2A rights are incongruent with fascism, but they're unable to conceive of the reasons why it makes sense, and it really is stark here. And I think this is, again, points to a broader point. It's not just about Jay, although it is also about him. But it's unbelievable to me. Unbelievable. And the truth is, this guy may still be Attorney General. And so you have to understand, there are people in these high positions of power that hate you. They hate you, and they just hate you because they just don't understand why someone could possibly think like you. And it is sad because, I would love to talk to any of these people. I'm always happy to talk to anyone, but it's astounding to me. It's astounding to me that people like this exist, and it's astounding to me that people like this are still able to be elected and are not dismissed by their own party. Unbelievable, though. Unbelievable stuff. Unbelievable stuff. If you did enjoy this video, though, and you found it useful, please do subscribe down below. It's a new channel. Maybe comment for the algorithm, and I appreciate that. But yeah, just wild stuff. And I really thought it was worth sharing. So I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one.